Should be topic number 2 is a little long, so I gotta see where I'll cut it off. But should be topic number 2 says, meanwhile, Zimmerman is an alive and kicking untouched celebrity. Only one white dude tried to get Zimmerman. Now look at these heroes. Can't save them if they want to be tethered. Hoping Massa find them sweet and gives them reparations. They will never, ever step on Massa's toes, not even by accident. Lengthy, but you guys get the idea of what it's about. This takes us to Twitter once again. And a tweet from an account. I'm wondering about this account too. It's called Fair Buck. And I'm wondering if it's an anti-black account, because a lot of stuff seems to be anti-black that's posted. But it says, New Yorkers almost get street justice after a man in a wheelchair was arrested for killing 31-year-old NYC homeless activist Yasmin Williams. Her body was found wrapped in a sleeping bag on a sidewalk. So this is a minute and a half, a little over a minute and a half. We'll watch it. If I need to, I'll play it twice.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Hold on. I got some notification just now saying that my audio has been disconnected. I don't know what the hell is going on here. So let's try it again. Let me share screen. Okay, you guys let me know if you can hear it this time. Let me mute my.
Yeah, we hear
it. Anger boiled over in Kips Bay when police took a man into custody around the corner from where the body of 31-year-old Yasmin Williams was found stuffed into garbage bags. Down the block, police sought out a man sources tell Fox 5 is a person of interest in the murder. In a wheelchair when he was brought down to the lobby, he was being transferred into a gurney while still in the lobby as a crowd outside started screaming and banging on the windows. Once the door opened, family members and friends of Yasmin Williams unleashed their fury as police officers and EMTs desperately tried to fend them off. Several people punched the man in the head, angrily jumping over him and leaping over anyone in the way to get at him. Some could be heard begging the crowd to kill the man, while others were tearing his shirt from behind. The man pleaded his innocence at the angry crowd as the EMTs and police tried to load him into the ambulance, all the while trying to push back at people surging to attack the man. As soon as the ambulance bolted, Yasmin's mother held her hand, overwhelmed.
He's disgusting. He looks like scum.
Yasmin's body was found Friday, stuffed into garbage bags and left out on the street on East 27th Street, just off 3rd Avenue. On Monday, the medical examiner's office determined the cause of death to be a gunshot wound to her head. Sources tell Fox 5 police have a surveillance video showing a man in an electric wheelchair dragging the garbage bags to that location, which led Yasmin's family to wait outside the building down the street.
I'll play it one more time just to clarify it.
Anger boiled over in Kips Bay when police took a man into custody around the corner from where the body of 31-year-old Yasmin Williams was found stuffed into garbage bags. Down the block, police sought out a man sources tell Fox 5 is a person of interest in the murder. In a wheelchair when he was brought down to the lobby, he was being transferred into a gurney while still in the lobby as a crowd outside started screaming and banging on the windows. Once the door opened, family members and friends of Yasmin Williams unleashed their fury as police officers and EMTs desperately tried to fend them off. Several people punched the man in the head, angrily jumping over him and leaping over anyone in the way to get at him. Some could be heard begging the crowd to kill the man, while others were tearing his shirt from behind. The man pleaded his innocence at the angry crowd as the EMTs and police tried to load him into the ambulance, all the while trying to push back at people surging to attack the man. As soon as the ambulance bolted, Yasmin's mother held her hand, overwhelmed.
He's disgusting. He looks like scum.
Yasmin's body was found Friday, stuffed into garbage bags and left out on the street on East 27th Street, just off 3rd Avenue. On Monday, the medical examiner's office determined the cause of death to be a gunshot wound to her head. Sources tell Fox 5 police have a surveillance video showing a man in an electric wheelchair dragging the garbage bags to that location, which led Yasmin's family to wait outside the building down the street.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. The police put this guy out there to get doing like that, and they didn't do that to Zimmerman. Zimmerman was more or less protected throughout that process. I suspect Zimmerman is still protected too. But yeah, they definitely didn't. They definitely put this black guy out there to catch hell for what it seems he did, allegedly. With that said, let me hear from Anthony McPhail. Anthony, what are your thoughts here?
Man, I say the same thing you said. You know what I'm saying? I say the same thing, Koku. You know, I mean, the police knew what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? To bring him out there, you know, and knew how the people, how the emotions of the people was. But I want to see the same energy when the police do that to us, when kill one of us. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the same energy. It's ironic that it was just, I think yesterday was like the 10th anniversary of Mike Brown's death. You know, Mike Brown's murder, like yesterday. But I'm saying I want to see the same damn energy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, y'all gonna go over there and beat the brother, half to death without even knowing if he 100% did it. Now I said we don't know if he did it or not. Like you said, it's a legend. Now if he did do it, hell, his ass deserved a death penalty. You know what I'm saying? But we need to have a little bit of patience with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you know what I'm saying, Coco? Y'all just jumped on him and beat him half to death. But Zimmerman walking his ass around there, and nobody, and still breathing. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Now, all them bad Negroes down there in Florida, man, somebody should have been busted cap in his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Somebody
should have been busted cap in his ass. And like I'm saying, and then and when the police shot that sister to death, not too long ago, Sonia Massey. All these sisters who done got killed. Breonna Taylor, Tatiana Jefferson. And all the brothers who done got smoked. You know what I'm saying? We done marched and protested and cried and did all of that. And it had all kind of movements and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop the bullshit, man. We gotta stop the bullshit. Yeah, I mean, my heart go out to that sister and her family. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if he did that, he deserved everything he's gonna get. You know what I'm saying? He deserved everything he's gonna get. But I'm just saying, it make us look bad. We're gonna go out there, you're gonna beat him half to death. George Zimmerman and all these other honkies who done did shit. Ain't nobody did nothing to them. They walking around and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it really make us look bad. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, man. Yeah.
Yes, it's the eagerness to jump on a guy in a wheelchair who you're not. I mean, we're saying allegedly, although the way they put the story out there, a guy was seen in an electric wheelchair, wheeling out a plastic bag. It makes it sound like it must be this guy who's also in a wheelchair as well. But our hastiness to jump on this guy, and we got these guys out here who violate black folks, get put back on the street, and we never lift a finger, man. It's a sad thing. But let's hear from the other panelists. Let me hear from Buana next. Buana, what's it?
Well, Koku, I try, when I see these kinds of things, I try to put myself in the same position to try to see if I understand. I saw the video and the footage of one guy, they didn't show his face, in a wheelchair, actually taking a body out, dumping the body like it was garbage. I saw that video. And I'm saying to myself, I am putting myself in the same situation because it's a very emotive. What if it was your loved one, a family member? You would be tempted to do something too. I'm surprised he make it out of there as many guns on the streets of New York City. I'm surprised he didn't get a headshot. I'm surprised. I was surprised he was able to make it out of there. But seeing that he did, like you say, I jungle justice is one thing. I like to go off of evidence, and these people are following. Maybe they saw the footage of the wheelchair person as well, and they just automatically assume it was that guy. I don't know, and I really don't care for jungle justice, because sometimes the innocent is suffer for the guilty. But I try to put myself in the same situation, and maybe I would have done the same thing or worse. But as far as George Zimmerman, right, and that issue, I understand that people like to look at that scenario and say, well, how come the Black community and deal with that? Me personally, I take a different kind of approach. I say, if anyone's supposed to be hunting down George Zimmerman until the day he died, I would like to give his daddy a chance first to do that, because he is the most interested party in seeding out justice, and he would feel better doing a lifetime in jail, knowing that he put the killer of his son 6 feet deep. You know what I mean? He would be the freest man in jail, knowing he'd do something like that. I think that to put the onus on completely on the Black community, yes, of course, we should have our own policing. We should have our own scrutiny. We are very lethal towards one another, but we ain't lethal to the people we need to be lethal towards. That's granted, and I respect that argument. But I say the dad should be hunting them daily. You know what I mean? He should have a GoFundMe in hunting down of George Zimmerman. Put that shit. I don't know if they'd allow you, anyone who wanted to support in actually trying to find where this guy is and hunting them down, put that up there. And you know what I mean? Put it to $100,000. Put him dead or alive. Put it there. If you could do it like that. But I just think that he should be the first port of call in searching for George Zimmerman and getting justice for his son. I really feel that way. But the Black community is also responsible for doing it. But I just think that it's his job first and foremost. But I don't know. That's how I look at that. But I'll leave it.
Yeah, I think that's sound. It is his job, Trayvon's father's job to do that. But also on general principle too, we have enough. What's the right word to use here? We have enough hooligans. We have enough people who have that spirit, and you guys know what I mean by that spirit. We just saw some in this video we just watched. That you guys see George Zimmerman about, you're supposed to take him down. There's a saying here in the States, do it for the culture. That's one of those do it for the culture moments. You know what I mean? That's one of those do it for the culture moments. The dad's supposed to do it for sure. But if he slunking, one of y'all fellas supposed to see Zimmerman somewhere and finish that. The same energy that y'all have for this guy in a wheelchair, no matter, right? Y'all supposed to have that same energy for Zimmerman. With that said, let's hear from Oni. Oni, what's saying?
Yeah, so I saw the video of the guy in the wheelchair dragging the body and trashing it, but it wasn't just that. Like, because a lot of people were because the framing of the news, is innocent until proven guilty, right? So it's alleged, killer, what have you. But it seems like this is the killer. Apparently she knew this guy. And she would be in his house all the time or something like that. She would probably, I guess maybe he's like a homeless guy, I don't know, but she's like helping him, with housing and shit. She was a nice person, that type of stuff, doing charity, and he was probably one of her things. Or people also speculate he was like a lover, I don't know, but she was at his house sometimes. And then this same guy was like earlier, I think earlier this day, was threatening somebody like, yo, I'll shoot you. Like, like he was threatening to shoot somebody who like confronted him about something, possibly about the girl, possibly about maybe noises they heard. I don't remember the story because it's been a minute, but basically it's like it seems like he was the killer. And then as far as the relation to the Zimmerman story and whatever, like we don't know who these guys are, but they could be relatives, they could be friends, they could be people in the local community who knew the girl who was killed, because apparently, like I said, she was a charitable lady. So I mean, yeah, he's pleading, oh yeah, I'm innocent, and he's whatever, but like, yeah, somebody else said he threatened them earlier with a gun, and he also like come on, like we all saw the video of him dragging the girl's body, dumping the girl's body. So it's like the framing makes it seem like, oh, well, what if it was some other homeless guy in a wheelchair, right? But it just seems like it's a 99% chance that it's this guy. And again, I feel like the family, because like what Vana was saying about Zimmerman's dad should be the one, like realistically, yeah, like let's say something like my sister's a good lady, right? Yeah, I know I have a sister, whatever, right? So my sister's a good lady, and then somebody just kills her. Like, yeah, of course I show up to the courthouse, and of course I'm the one throwing punches, And I mean, I know we want to say, well, I want other people to throw punches for me, and it's like that's fine if they do, but like, what? Like, I'm supposed to be the one there throwing punches, if nobody else, you know. So I don't know the story with Zimmerman or Zimmerman's. I mean, sorry, I don't know the story about Trayvon's father, or what have you. But like, I definitely don't think that Zimmerman should be walking around black folk, like ain't nothing happened. But I don't think he's walking around black folk like ain't nothing happened. I think he's in quote unquote witness protection, and I think the white people around him, are either also in protection, or they're also they're just hush hush, or they're even protecting Zimmerman. So I think that's what's really going on. It's not like there was maybe one footage of Zimmerman that I've seen since the shooting. And it was, him like signing a bag of Skittles, like the audacity, right? But it was clearly like in a white, like a white supremacist environment. You know what I mean? It's not like he was like, it's not like he's like in Waffle House or some shit, he's Waffle House and whatever. So I think that's part of the reason why Zimmerman is surviving, as it were. But also, like I said, this guy, it seems like he just killed. Like it seems like I don't want to say it seems, maybe like 99% chance that this guy was the killer of this, like a community organizer, who was like probably helping him. But also, I want to just put this as a reminder for women. Don't go to these don't go to bum's house. Like, stop being hobosexual. I don't know, but it seems like it. Some people are thinking that they were like romantic, but like, stop being homosexual. Like leave the bums alone, man. Like, because yeah, he's he's in a wheelchair. You can't hurt me. Yeah, he can. He has guns. Guns exist. You know what I mean? Not just that he's a man, but like, yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, I'm actually not against people punching the guy, and I also think that as Koku said, I think that the police did this on purpose, or at least they didn't expect people to react this way. But when it comes to like white suspects, or like that time when that house was being cleared out from the pedophiles or whatever, like, white people know how to like protect suspects, and they were not trying to protect this guy. That's pretty much that full story. That's it.
Yeah, thanks for that. For kind of backing up that story too. I hadn't seen the footage of the wheelchair person dumping what seems to be a body. I will say though that in a given area, if you see a wheelchair person dumping a bag near where a dead body is found, chances are it's probably that person. How many wheelchair persons are out here dumping stuff like that? But with that said, clearly the police put him out there to get whooped. And again, it's on Trayvon's pops to deal with that situation. I gotta mute Anthony's mic. It's for Trayvon to deal with that. His dad to deal with that situation. Absolutely, 100%. But I am saying that, and I guess Trigger Happy kind of is touching on it here when he says not having a community means there's no sense of systematic justice to those who perpetrate violence against you. No judicial system of any kind. I think that's the issue I'm having. Black folks every day, black men especially, let me not say black folks generally, black men especially, are sitting around day in and day out talking about their ops this, their ops that. They're running down on their ops, all this type of stuff. And a guy does something egregious to the community. A white guy does something egregious to the community, right? And you do nothing about it. It's shame on Trayvon's pops, but shame on some of these guys who are out here in the nonsense already. I'm not talking about, regular smuggler dudes supposed to take up arms and this, that, and that. I'm talking about the dudes who are on the bullshit already. Right? Go handle that shit. If this boy's father ain't doing it, you go do. You see Zimmerman, as Oni said, at the Waffle House, at the drive-through, you're supposed to run down on him. You're talking about running down on ops all fucking day. Go run down on this guy, right? KW7 in the chat earlier said you have black males who justify the Trayvon Martin murder. Your Tommy Sotomayor types. Yeah. I can see that. Real Black Gentleman says, didn't a black dude on a bike punch Zimmerman? I think that was a white guy on a bike that punched Zimmerman. But with all that said, Joe said you heard everything everyone else had to say. What say you to this?
Well, yeah, I have a theme, and I'm afraid that's what we're seeing here. And the theme is that we don't live in a white supremacist system, but the complete reverse. So we live in a black subjugation system. So everybody is welcome to the mob, even black folks. And we see it the more every day on, for example, X, Twitter. But and I want to add, because this was quite some weeks ago that this was posted, I believe. But I want to add something recent, because I agree with all of you, that this was like last week. I don't know if somebody saw that, but last week there was a beauty shop was closed, and all the stuff was in a parking lot. It was like maybe millions worth of beauty stuff, like everything, nails, hair, everything, and it was one big shit show, because the police wouldn't let people take stuff for free, but they themselves took stuff, right? Maybe to act funny at parties or Halloween or whatever, but it was one big shit show. And this we are looking at a shit show too. So and the people finally had an N-word to kick down to spit upon, and the police had their photo up, like, look at these N-words, I mean, so that's all of that is possible because everyone, even us, need somebody to look down upon. And of course it's always going to be us, because everybody has agreed upon that. If it would be about white supremacy, everybody would be competing for that number one spot, right on the top. but nobody is doing that. Everybody is rather looks to somebody to kick down upon, or like in this video to kick down upon. Yeah, that's actually the message. I wanted to shed some light on our behavior, and especially again repeat that it's not about white supremacy, but it's about black subjugation. Everybody is let me add another one, like and this one is a male female family thing, right? So what I see here, and what I suspect happens everywhere in the West, what I see here is that all types of women that, oh, I want a beautiful baby, they come at our community. Since the black man is already guilty, you can steal a child. You can come into our community, act black a couple of weeks, and then run with a beautiful mixed black baby. Like we have this position, everybody agreed upon, that nobody cares about us. There's no defense. Nobody is coming out to defend us, or even to represent us. Even in the music culture that we make, nobody is defending that. Everybody is busy with do I have somebody to look down to, or am I the bottom? Everybody is afraid to be the bottom rather than seeking to be the number one, if you understand what I mean. So that's actually the cloud in which I suggested this subject. Something to think about. I want us to think about what's really happening here. Everybody everybody agrees on what's happening here. The police has a photo up of these N-words. Look at these N-words, and actually you're looking also at our people happy to have an N-word to kick down upon. And that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, the more and thanks for that, Jose. The more you say photo op, I'm looking at this video and I'm like, this is photo op within photo op within photo op. It's the wailing mother. It's the police pretending to protect this guy. Pretend, you know what I mean? Pretending to show restraint against the mob. Look at these guys here, pretending to show restraint and all this kind of stuff.
The beauty shop, the closing beauty shop, and I believe the owner had passed. The closing beauty shop was the same thing. It was a shit show, like black folks demanding, asking, begging to have access to all that free stuff that was laying there in the parking lot. So it was also with the yellow ribbon. Exactly. So the police had a yellow ribbon around the stuff, and it was the same. It was a photo op. Like, look at them. Look at these wild. You know.
Yeah, I got you. Any last thoughts on this prompt by any of the panelists?
I have some brief comments. I think that sometimes when people believe and see people murder usually where they live, usually, very few people go outside of their community looking for people to actually, do harm to. Very few people, usually, when crimes are being committed, we're very lazy, So when people think, I understand that the community should actively go hunting after this man, but he ain't hanging out in Brooklyn. George Zimmerman ain't in Brooklyn. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. He ain't off a higher layer in Florida. He ain't in certain parts of Atlanta. So because of that, I don't expect harm to come to him. I think that if he was to walk in a Waffle House at 3:00 in the morning, where a bunch of brothers is in Atlanta sitting down, some brothers then would say, "Hey, ain't that George Zimmerman?" Yes, that's George Zimmerman. Hey man, we gonna go outside. We gonna try to take care. I think that'll happen. I really personally believe, and I don't think that it'll be criminals doing it either. You know, but to say that them same brothers is gonna actively get a detective and go hunting after him, I think that you would probably have to be more intimately involved in. I think that I think you would have to be a family member of Trayvon Martin before we actively go hunting after him. That's why I say his dad should get first dibs. But I think that if he was to go into a black restaurant at the wrong place at the wrong time, and a group of black men was to recognize him, I think that, you know, George Zimmerman will be harmed. I think George Zimmerman is practicing safe politics. He makes these crazy comments and take pictures where he's extremely safe in neighborhoods where he's safe. So I don't think that sometimes it's fair to try to suggest that the black community wouldn't do nothing to them. I just think that be lazy and actually actively going out and hunting after him. But if he was, like I say, if he is in the wrong place at the wrong time, and some brothers recognize, hey, that's George Zimmerman, and they remember who he is, because that case is a little bit older now, and they remember who he is, man, he would get dealt with. I really feel if he is in somewhere in New Orleans, you know, I know Anthony them will deal with him. I know Anthony them will deal with him. So I just think that I don't know, man. I think we go hard on the brothers sometimes in believing that certain things wouldn't happen to him, like they trying to punk us or something. I just think that we lazy. We wouldn't actively go hunting for him. But I think that if he was to be at the wrong place in the wrong time, he would get dealt with. No, I think that that'll happen. I'm sorry, I believe that, but I'll leave it.
I'll just say that this so-called black gangsters doing photo ops with Donald Trump, and a guy who is known to come from Klansmen, a guy who pushed for the death penalty for 5 youth in New York City. And we can't say that was a long time ago, because that film that won awards about, I forget the name of it now, that won awards was just pre-pandemic, I think. Just pre-pandemic when that came out. And guys still rocking with Donald Trump. There's certain Pan-Africans who are rooting for Donald Trump. So I don't know. I think black folks, like Afro-Native World is saying on the screen, the guys who are into the foolishness, who talking about running down on ops and all that stuff, they got too much smoke for our own folk to do anything like what some of us are talking about up here. And I think that's the problem, generally speaking. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see, me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see some black folks posing with Zimmerman in the near future, with a Skittles in their hand.
Coco, you think it's that bad? You think it's that bad? I don't think it's that bad, man. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I think so. Does anyone else have any last thoughts on this prompt? All right, we're making good time tonight. I want to thank everyone who's participating with us on the panel tonight. Those of you who are active in the chat, really do appreciate all of you. Hopefully, more folks will come in sometime soon. Let's get a more rigorous conversation going on between the panel and the chat. In the meantime, though, let's go to Shoot the Breeze topic number 3 tonight. By the way, shout out to D-Web from the House Rally podcast. I saw him in the chat earlier. KW Dawn 7, Afro Native World, and others.